Well, it's day 5 of the Gratitude Project, and today we're going to focus on the love stories that inspire the best kind of rom coms, Chenthu and Audrey Jayton. The core purpose of this post, Audrey and Chenthu, is to share how your family brings so many good people together and to talk about your love because it sets a standard for me. But I'll never pass up a chance to talk about Chenthu, so we have to start there. Chenthu, 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 you are the most brilliant, talented, strategic community builder I've ever known. The universe really had something cooking to make you my first ever real supervisor, which I still feel lucky for because we both know I bombed that first interview. You built a family for us in an RA staff, rooted in integrity, love, and some really hard work that made me want to give my all to my kids in Delta. In Shadow, I found belonging that couldn't have come at a better time. Your unwavering confidence in my abilities was something that I drew upon for courage countless times when I doubted myself. And there have been many times that I've doubted myself in this career path and in my life. Chenthu, who you are and what you've invested in me is the reason I have the career I do today. And it's not just because I didn't know student affairs existed until you told me. All those hours learning how to write a resume, cover letter, and prepping me for the Oshkosh placement exchange. I mean, 23 interviews in 3 days? Really? Your help is what first sparked my interest in career coaching as a functional area because I thought how lost I would have been without your guidance. I still use some of the methods you taught me with my students now. But look, I know you don't love talking about being my mentor and supervisor because we're dear friends now. The best part is that who you were then is the same Chenthu that I know and love 10 years later. The friend with whom I watched hours of Bollywood movies, drank gallons of Henry Weinhardt's root beer, competed in French cricket, expanded my comfort zone with traveling and adventures, and crushed in progressive rummy card games. You remind me to have fun without guilt, to love with all my heart, especially my students. That honesty is the best policy, and to never give up on the possibility of making social change. I deeply trust and appreciate you for everything you are, especially as my dear friend. And if that wasn't good enough, you introduced a whole new soul sister into my life when you met Audrey Scranton and realized that she was asking you out. How lucky am I that you started dating this hilarious master of puns, brilliant educator, and deeply compassionate and thoughtful new friend just for me? Audrey, I'm so glad that we sacrificed sleep, those late nights on the couch, and I can't wait for us to have those heart to hearts again post COVID. You have a way of inviting me to explore things I'm afraid of, with deliberate gentleness and intention. Or to make me realize that I'm not asking for too much, especially in romantic relationships. When I'm with you, I feel treasured and loved and in the presence of a remarkable human being, sharing their gift of time with me. You also pay attention to the little things that I don't even know will matter until they do, like wanting to be with me on Mother's Day this year. I'll always love and appreciate you for that. Wherever you two are, I'll always be home. But it's not just me who feels like family. You two have a way of making the right people feel right at home. You bring people together in powerful ways, learning from the attention and intention of your love. I can't think of a couple I'd root for more. An example of two partners coming together as equals in empathy, intellect, and commitment. And your ability to be silly together, which is so fun to see. That's why it was the biggest honor of my life, not just the last decade. When we orchestrated the surprise proposal at Sunset Beach, then when you asked me to officiate your wedding. It feels like a sacred miracle being a witness to your love and relationship from that very first Thanksgiving with the punny post-its on the fridge and the affectionate hugs and glances you shared, to uniting two of my most treasured friends with the backdrop of the Rocky Mountains. Thank you for being brave enough to love with your whole hearts, each other, your communities, and everyone else who matters.